So we're looking at the list of motion types of motion drawings in module 2. We're looking at module 2 in the syllabus. We're looking at what are the different things that we have learned over the last two sessions with Mrs. Robinson. So drawing principle sessions, objectives that were explored. Module 2, list the types of motion drawing, and she went through motion analysis, gesture-based drawings, dynamic figure drawings. She went to figure in motion, drawing a figure in motion like halfway. She looked at humanoid versus non-humanoid. So you have drawn humanoid characters, non-humanoid characters like Aki had woman, which is non-humanoid plastic bag. We have used things whether non-humanoid financing. Some persons have blended humanoid with non-humanoid, and the game presenter is here. Those drawings, you have also looked at applying drawing design to principles for layout of environment and character development, which she has done with you, how to look at the environment, the background. So each of these characters you draw, what is the scenery behind them, how will you set them into context of what you're drawing them for. So you look at how to put the character in place. You looked at how to put characters in place in the environment or the world. You put the character in place. Where will the character be used? When you draw one of these characters, what is the background? The background in which you will use them. You look at layers, the foreground, midground, background. Foreground is at the front, the midground, and the background. You look at applying the knowledge of design principles to environmental design. You look at perspective, drawing the angle. You look at perspective, which is the perspective is a different angles from which you are drawing. You look at color theory, how different colors will impact the work that you are creating. You look at texture, which is about the feeling of the drawing. You look at composition, how do you create layout, screen design. You look at the levels, so doing that with the concept in game design and levels, etc. So we're going to pick up.
Alright, so a level basically for instance the stage. Everybody on the stage. Can be defined as someone actors or where someone is presenting center of attention, stage, level. This is your main focus of your character, of your player. Your objectives are scattered throughout the level itself. By doing certain actions, achieving certain objectives, you progress through the level. Now, in designing a level, it's basically like you're designing a story, like you're writing a storyboard. With each progression of your character, with each completion of a task, the level changes. The world in which your player resides, it changes. So moving from point A to point B is not cut and clean, just running across just a flat surface. Not a level. It can be a level. As a classmate, can add in obstacles, different objectives, put in some platforms, some enemies, because in your level is where the main portion of your gameplay is going to be taken. You need to engage your player. You need to engage your audience. Who's your target audience? People are playing a game. For example, a game like Ranked Art. You have an expansive world, so cause mischief, kill people, steal, shoot, fight. Mortal Kombat. You need a stage. You need a level to fight. A platform. You need for speed. You need a track. This is your level. This is where your gameplay takes place. Your objectives are completed or failed. All actions take place in your level. Now, how do you come up with a stage?
First, you have to know what the objective is of the game.
Exactly. It's a very good answer. The first thing you need to know, what is the objective of the game? Is your game a puzzle game? Because based on your objective, what is it? So based on your objective, your level can change from that. Your objective would sway your gameplay. It also influences your level design. And of course, your objective will also influence your character. So as an example, Super Mario Brothers. The objective of the game is to save the princess. Right? Objective, save the princess. Now, the gameplay will be swayed in that you need to defeat enemies, you need to collect powers. So your gameplay is swayed by the objective to save the princess. How do I save the princess? I need to keep progressing through levels. Go through world 1 of 1, 1 of 2, 1 of 3, 1 of 4, 1 of 5, 2 of 1, and so forth. It sways your gameplay. Your objective is to the level design. In every instance, Bowser is the main villain of the game. He's always trying to stop you from progressing. He's always trying to stop you from getting to the princess in time. So the level design is influenced by your objective. The level design should be going against your objective. For example, Mario is trying to get from one platform to the next. How am I going to stop him? How am I going to make it difficult? What sort of obstacles am I going to put in place to ensure that Mario does not get over to that platform? Enemies throwing modifiers at you, spikes, the plants, the trapdoors, moving platforms. Your objective is swaying your level design in that you're making it harder for your player or your character to achieve his or her goal. Now, as it pertains to your character, how does the objective, how would that influence how your character is designed, your character design, how your character looks, his skill set? How would that influence? Yes, the world would enact upon your character. It would change certain properties of your character. So, alright, so for example, using Mario as an example. If you go into Sea World, World 2, what happens? Mario gets the ability to swim. So your objective is to find Princess Peach, but your objective is affecting your character. For example, to fight certain enemies, Mario would need to get a power. To kill the enemy, you need a hammer. You need to get some sort of power. So, for example, again, Metroid Prime, everyone knows what Metroid is. At certain points in Metroid, you're going to be stuck and you need to get a power up to move on. So in that, your objective is swaying your gameplay as well as the character. Because your character needs to get stronger to reach his objective. And you need to perform a certain gameplay action so that it goes to benefiting your objective. And you get stronger. So all these three factors are affected by your objective. So when designing your levels, you need to think of it, okay, I'm going to design, so for example, first person shooter. How is my character going to interact with enemies within the game? What sort of guns do you need to collect? What sort of action do you need to complete? What sort of gameplay does he need to do to say, okay, I got a gun, my character is now strong. I'm moving on to a different level. I need to put some obstacle in the way. Now my objective is not swaying my level because I'm trying to basically kill off my player. You're trying to kill the player in instant. Because that's how it affects your replay value. Because it's not going to be fun to just play a game and you don't die. You have to have some sort of challenge. You have to face something more difficult. Get me? There has to be some repercussions to your actions. Granted, there are some games that you don't have a license to score. Like, let's see. In a game of London, don't use that. You just use score. Or rather, matching. Matching that. It's an algorithmic pattern. Now the objective is to obviously get
creating the AI for chess type and the form of
yeah, any chess game. Any chess game, any game that has a pattern, when you're designing code for any game with a pattern, it's very difficult. For example, you have a Rubik's Cube. Anybody know Rubik's Cube?
Yeah.
Just imagine designing an AI just to solve a Rubik's Cube. What is code using that one? Very difficult. Because you have 4 sides. Sorry, 6 sides. You have 6 sides. And each face of the cube has 9 boxes, 9 segments. So each face of a cube can rotate 360 depending on how you look at it. So you have 6 different faces rotating at 360 degrees. And those faces are split in 9. So technically speaking, each face, which is segmented in 3 portions, rotational wise, can rotate 360 degrees. So the more you think about how the Rubik's Cube is structured, the more complex it becomes.
I mentioned this game series called Total War. It's a series of strategy games that take place in various points in history, but like the matters are to scale.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Now, in a game like that,
No one complains when any players have that the AI from when the player against it is always too stupid, like they're always easily outsmarted.
so a game like that, now, how it works is you just outline. So for instance, you have 100 infantry soldiers. You have 100 infantry soldiers. Now you're given a set amount of patterns in which you can deploy these soldiers to the enemy. So the enemy, just assuming that this circuit here is a group of about 1,000 soldiers. And based on how you disperse your soldiers to attack, you might have 25 archers, might have 25 mages, might have 25 infantry soldiers, and maybe like 25 healers. Now, if you send out the archers first, that's a really dumb move because these are your long range attackers. Now, if they die first, what's going to happen is the enemy is going to get more time than you want. Yeah. And then your mages, which would be like your mid-range attackers, they're at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because they have a limited time or limited amount of enemies that they can kill in the time that the enemy takes to advance. When infantry soldiers, they're disposable. They're disposable. They're kind of, it would have been smarter to send your infantry soldiers in first, so that they can intercept the enemy's advancement. And while the healers are always in the back. So you keep the healers in the back, that they can heal the infantry soldiers. While the archers pick off the rest of the enemy one by one. And in the event that your enemy crosses that line, the mages will come in effect with mid-range magic attacks. So once again, the objective: stop the enemy from advancing to your kingdom. How are you going to go about that? The gameplay is how do I strategically place my army, my infantry. Because these soldiers are basically assets to you. How do I place them? That's the gameplay. Level design, what kind of terrain are you working with? Is it hill terrain, desert terrain?
And all the flat terrain assets.
Exactly. Now your characters can be seen as infantry soldiers. Because the type of kingdom that you're ruling would basically sway how strong or how weak your infantry is.
Yeah.
Are you a predominantly barbaric kingdom where all of your soldiers are barbarians? Now, basically 100% of your infantry force will be just cannon for them, just send them out at random. Or you could maybe do what we call a panzer attack or an ambush. They would have infantry on both sides, hiding and waiting, as well as behind the enemy. And a small group of soldiers in front. Now, their responsibility is just to get the enemy within the reach of the ambush. Is it that you're predominantly mages, magicians, archers, or you have 2 or 3 giants? And once again, your objective is to sway all 3 of these items. Then again, as an next example, so for example, FIFA. Who plays FIFA? Alright, good. Gameplay, what do you play FIFA? We matches get points in the trophy. So good. Now, the level design is very simple in FIFA. You have a pitch, and the only thing you change on it is the texture. That's how it looks. That's all. It's not really hard to create a level in FIFA. What really matters in FIFA is the characters and the gameplay. Because you're working with basically 22 characters at a time. Each player controlling 11 of them. Now, based on how the characters are designed on a team, it would sway in gameplay. As an example, just imagine you have a custom side. You have Lionel Messi. You have Osman Dembele. Who else? Neymar Jr. Suarez. In midfield, you have Fernandinho. In the goal, you have Ter Stegen. Just like half of the side already swaying the gameplay because that side is predominantly strong, right? You add in the winning 11, you have like Thierry Henry, who else? Matic. All of these players would sway the gameplay because based on how the characters are designed and based on the objective that you're trying to achieve, score more goals than the other team, the gameplay would be swayed because one team would be weighted heavy on the other. And these are things that you have to keep in mind when designing your character as well. You don't want to make a character too strong and you don't want to make him too weak. If the character is too strong, the game is going to be too easy. If the character is too weak, the game is going to be too hard. And based on how you balance that, because everything in life is balanced. Based on how you balance your strengths and the weaknesses of your characters, of your players, of your enemies, it would make the fun factor of the game either less or more. Alright, Dark Souls. Dark Souls is a very stressful game. Because at the start, the character is really weak and the enemies are really strong. Now through grinding or what we call farming resources, yeah, the character can become strong, but it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of energy. For a game like Skyrim, Endless Road Skyrim, your character starts off, yeah, Skyrim is basically, you're just running through an NPC controlled world. It's not really hard to play and it's not really easy to play. It's just that it's a big open world adventure game. So the main protagonist in Skyrim, which is you start off with some amount of abilities, some amount of magic skills, some amount of melee skills, and so forth. But in a game like Dark Souls, you basically start from nothing. You're trying to come up to something. And these role-playing games, you basically decide how you want to play the game. Just like Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto is a role-playing game. Even though it's story-driven, you have certain choices that you can make. Certain people you can choose to align. The main choices in the end of Grand Theft Auto, even Grand Theft Auto 5, the main choices that you have to make is either to kill Trevor or Michael. And based on those decisions, your end game or your replay of the game would be different. Because if you choose to kill Franklin, you get some amount of assets. But if you choose to kill Trevor, you get more assets than if you would kill Franklin. You will get the airfield, I think you get the safe house. So based on your actions within the game, based on your character's action, in the level you design, would say the gameplay. And it will change your objectives in the game. Because if Franklin is dead, if Trevor is dead, certain missions will be closed off. Likewise with Trevor. So each action you take within your game has a direct effect. Even a simple game like Candy Crush. If you match the wrong tiles, you lose a life. It has an effect on your gameplay. And your character, mainly you, made those choices. Based on how the level is designed, you can only finish the level in a set amount of ways, a set amount of moves. And if you make the wrong moves, that's game over. Get it? Any questions so far? Did I lose anybody? What we're going to do is we're going to do an exercise. I'm going to put about 9 words on the board, and by picking 3 of those words, I want you guys to come up with a game concept. You have to have some form of gameplay, so you're going to conceptualize some form of gameplay, some form of level design, and some form of character. Just from selecting 3 of the words that I'm going to put on the board. What do you understand? Alright.
Other glasses. This person makes you look stupid. You understand? It's smaller. It's smaller. And this is smaller. The most bigger one. Not body. You just
Now, in your own time, like I said before, the instructions are come up with a game concept, including gameplay, level design, and characters, by selecting 3 of these words as your inspirations.
Okay.
Clearly, it's just mashing 3 words together and coming up with a random game. So outline the gameplay, character, and the level design, and of course the objective of the game. By selecting 3 of these words. So beach, car, rank, food, missile, hole, star, space, time. So each of you select 3 words at random. Let's come up with a game idea. You have 20 minutes.
na 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 na.
pick
tam,
about
tam,
one
tam,
that random,
tam,
and you're going to tell us about it.
na na na
What if you already know that? No, a new one. It's a new one, right?
na 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 tam, ta na na na.
Well, write it down. Write it down. So outline the objective of your game. What is the gameplay component? I.e., what are you supposed to be doing?
Objective of
Level
the
design.
game.
How is the level design? What is the level? Is it the desert or whatever? As well as create a character. What are your character designs?
Create a
What is your character supposed to be doing? Who is your character? He, she, them, it.
Name it and
That's
say
what
they are going to do. Tam 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 na 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 na.
three of those words here inspiration. Now think about the word. What can I formulate from this word? Is it that what the word that you selected, is it that one of them is going to be an obstacle? Is it that one of them is going to be like surrounding your gameplay? Is it going to be a level design component? Is it going to sway the design of your character? Just on the top of my head, beach. Alright, we're on the beach. That could be my level. Water, sand, sun, sea, volleyball. So we're on the beach. That is our setting. And what am I supposed to be doing? What is the gameplay? Is it a time objective? And a time there, okay. I'm on the beach, I have a certain amount of time to do what? I have a certain amount of time to say, I still want the food. I have a certain amount of time. I'm on the beach. I have a certain amount of time to eat some mackerels. That right there. And an example. So this use your imagination. Your imagination is the strongest tool that you have. Rather than that. Can you give me something? Can I write them? Are you okay?
When you have pictures, you might create
This is space. Expand. Anything at all. From it in the dictionary, any definition I can either want take it the space itself or outer space. Put like a space for the people. The word is just there as inspiration.
our inspiration which always be game only game play what happens rules that the game will use this this type this kind three words clear this time. So that's three words. I'm not sure with that we are based on digital transparency. That's right. For example, those are the
Space. Space. Game development, conceptualization, activity. Using the table below, choose 3 words that can be taken to create a new game idea that you wish to pursue. Requirements, outline the object for the game. It's the time objective. What must you do? Level design, desert, level design for the game, such as the environment of the game. Create a character for the game and say what the character will be doing. Suggest gameplay and rules for the game. Do not hit. Yes, he's the best of the monkeys around. Oh. Why does it look ugly picnic? This look ugly picnic. You know, leave me a little ugly picnic. Tyler, Reese, Gordon. Mother will give him so much name. Why you must give so much name to one picnic? But I'm not Tyler, Reese, Gordon. That's basically the instruction on screen.
Your submission for the morning session is a traditional sketch or sketches of 1 or 2 characters that Mrs. Robinson did with you. Digitize the characters and apply color theory to them. Do a synopsis of the role of the character to be played or to replace or use. Discuss using a 1-page. Discussing 1 page or using some graphical format, a simple outline for your story. I'm going to mention something called your story arc. Develop an appropriate story arc for your production. Develop a story arc and develop a story arc. What will your story be like, the high points for your story develop and resolve an issue, the crisis. So you need to do this as a part of your activity. This activity, you are going to produce a 1-pager report using words in a practical game concept for development. This is your outcome for your game session due February 16. You know, submit. Then the portal will close and put in zeros. The end. Because I can hit zeros. If you don't like it, if you don't like it, you can jump off a bridge. Take a long walk on a short here. Take a long walk on a short here. No, what Sir did with you today, what Mr. Roberts did with you today, you were looking at presenting project proposal. That's what you're really doing. He gave you an idea, you were given an idea, and from that idea, you were required to develop some production that you can create and say to a group of people. It is important that you understand, it is important that you understand how to share your idea with people that you are trying to get them to invest, to accept your idea as a plausible development that they can work with. So we're looking at how to present a project proposal, the skills and preparation required, research. You have to go and look at the background behind all of these. How do missiles really work? How will space be a part of your thing? How will beach be a part of your thing? How will the rock be a part of your thing? You have to go and do some research. How to make things look practical. Sir mentioned the background in physics. In physics that have an impact on what you're doing here. How will the missile be used and fly whatever you're doing? We have to look at time management. You were given 20 minutes to actually create this thing. Short time. In your exam, short time. Thank you, sir. In your exam, short time. Because sometimes, remember that in Unit 1, it's not the focus to develop fully working things. It's how do you shape ideas into a concept that you can develop on in future. Those of you who will go to Unit 2, you're going to now make a game work in Unit 2. In Unit 1, you're telling me more about the preparation. What preparation is involved? Yes, but we don't teach both units concurrently. We don't have enough resources to do so. So we alternate. Those who did it last year did Unit 2 already, so they are now doing Unit 1. We alternate in the years. So we don't have enough resources. You look at communication. You have to speak. You have to tell people your idea. And one of the things you had to do was to get the idea out of your head. And as Mr. Robertson said, you have to learn how to think outside the box. How to think what is called divergent. Divergent, different way of thinking. You all had the same words, but you chose different words. And when you put them together, you had different games. Different games. And if you realize, none of you, not one of you, had the same idea. You were all different. But the same concept was used to create these many ideas. It's likewise in a game. You can be given in the exam a partial game that you have to tell us how will it finish. They can give you a game scene, a part of the game. 15, 20 minutes, 15, 30 seconds, and ask you what happens next in the game. Because it's about communication of an idea. So we look at some things about guidelines. One, diction. How clearly do you speak? How well are you able to articulate your point? And these have to go into your pitch for your second part of your SBA. You have to create a pitch. The pitch is to sell an idea. You make a pitch, your diction must be very good. You must have clarity in how you speak. Diction is about clarity. How you enunciate, how you pronounce your words, how you connect with your audience as you speak. That dramatization in your voice, that is diction. And articulation and enunciation, pronunciation varies based on what you do. You have to learn to go up before an audience and speak. You will have to actually prepare your pitch before a group of students, of your peers. Get them to be a part of your idea and ask them for feedback in what you're doing. Grammatical structures are very important. When you speak, look at the language. Look at how you construct your sentences. Do not sound scripted. Do not sound like you're reading from something. You're not to sound scripted. And that's the very worst thing when you can do is sound scripted. So in the news, when you watch the news and you see them reading the news, they move around and you look at the prompts in front of them, the teleprompts. And you would swear they are talking out of their head. But all they're doing is reading the prompt screens in front of them. And then when they finish the news, they spend a few minutes and they just stop. They like do a joke or some kind of interactive thing, which is just unplanned script. And you understand that they don't sound scripted, but also that the grammar that they use, their pronunciation, how they say words, is important because you can embarrass yourself in speaking sometimes. So sometimes when you speak, you look at your grammar. Your grammar must be good not only in spoken words, but also in writing. If you cannot type up information and present information in some kind of a project format, if you cannot present your information in a project format, and people can follow from the report that you write, then that's a problem. Because you have to be able to communicate both orally and also in writing. And you must be able to use correct grammar. Remember, when you go before an audience, you're trying to get their money. Remember things like Shark Tank. Everybody on Shark Tank, we're trying to get money on the Shark Tank. We have NCD innovators. And you see how people are trying to convince. Because a pitch is designed to convince. It's designed to convince. Convince someone about an idea you have. A pitch is used to win someone's attention. Where it invests in your idea, it sounds good. Your game sounds lucrative. We are willing to go behind you. Do some more and come and show me. So a couple weeks from now, give me a 1 hour presentation. Remember, your pitching is only 3 to 5 minutes. You have a long time. Because the idea for a pitch is to get the person's attention. I want to hear what you're saying. I tell people about the experience I had with Royal Reed. When I went to Royal Reed to meet and to present the idea of alternative classroom for 21st century subjects. And currently my graduate studies I'll be doing and my PhD in the future is focusing on online learning in 21st century courses. If we taught this course as maths and English, would you have found it interesting? No. We have to draw back the person We have to bring in specialists in the different fields, people with different skills. This is the first class you had where several people are teaching you. You realize that?
Yes.
First class. Because what you realize that everybody have different talents, different skills, and different ways. And what we have to do is to what? How do we all blend together to come up with the end result? Because at the end result, the grade one make a big difference, but it's how you learn to get the grade one. So the whole idea is that your grammatical structure is important. Then knowing your audience, you have to know the people you are talking to. It's likewise if you are going to the dancing dynamite. And you're going to add a certain kind of wind up thing as a man, you're going to get booed easily off a stage. You have to know the people you are speaking to. If you are doing Rising Star, know your audience. Because if the persons you are presenting to don't like your look or like your body language, don't like your style, they're not going to win. They will tell you to come on stage. You know, fit yourself. So when you're speaking to people, you have to know who are you talking to? What do you know about them? If you're going to speak to people as investors, you have to know where are they coming from. Are they coming from a bank, or from a business, a bank or a business, or they're from a grant agency? Where? Who are you talking to? If you don't know who you're talking to, then you are not able to connect and to speak their language. You're not able to persuade them. Then you have to build a relationship with your audience. That's what Mr. Robertson, all teachers do is build some kind of connection with the audience that they're teaching, the students. They come to class only because of who is teaching you. When you go to class at school, you only go to those classes that you really like the teacher. So you do well in them because you like the teacher. Or you like the class experience because of why they build a certain kind of relationship with the target audience. So sort of like an icebreaker, you came up here and you did something first. When Miss was teaching you, she came up here to show you some stuff and then say to you, let us do it together. Every teacher is making a pitch. Determine the purpose. What are you trying to do? Your purpose. Are you trying to inform? Like dengue, the dengue commercial. For dengue, you are trying to inform people about the dangers of the mosquitoes. Are you trying to persuade people? Persuade means win over. Are you trying to say to them, invest in my product? Your pitch, which of these are you informing? Are you persuading? Are you trying to convince people to say, you have many other choices to pay money? Why must you invest in my kind of game, my animation? Remember, it's always do or die. When you watch Shark Tank, people do some political things. People always have to undermine their competitors because you want up at the top of the ladder where you are the best thing they put out there on the stage. That's what Rising Star is all about. When you look at American Idol, is who convinced the judges more, who convinced or captivate the audiences more. Are you trying to instruct someone? Instructing is in your pitch. You are trying to get people to change their behavior. That's instructing. So they make commercials for oral hygiene. Dental commercial. It's about instructing about brushing your teeth. It's about, when you do the one about breast cancer, the idea of the animation is to instruct you how to check your breast for breast cancer. Because what you're trying to do is to instruct. You're trying to instruct, tell people what to do. Instructing is a way in which we can pitch idea or to entertain. Are you trying to entertain? Are you trying to entertain? So remember, I know, rising star, the purpose is to entertain. The purpose of entertain. You are trying to entertain people on stage. Dancing Dynamite is to entertain. In debating, when they debate, they are trying to persuade. Persuade. When someone is in the supermarket, and they're selling a new juice, or a new drink, they are trying to pitch an idea of buying something new. What they're trying to do is to persuade you, and they're trying to inform you about the nutritional value behind this drink. It has less sugar, it has that. And then you try it, and then there's a response, are you going to buy it and take it home? When you go price man, they ask for feedback on samples. That's a pitch. When you put crackers with different jams and stuff, a new jam will come out like guava jam or guava sorrel jam. Whatever it is, they're making a pitch to see if you would like to buy it. Because commercial is a pitch, and commercials are aimed for all of these things. The one about Crime Stop, that is about what? It's about informing people. Dengue is going to inform you also. Sugary drinks in school. Don't drink sugary drinks. That is trying to what? Persuade you. Jamaica Moves is about persuasion, exercise. But if they're having something like Magnum King and Queens, the purpose is to entertain. Remember to know what is the purpose of what you're doing. The structure, a beginning, a middle, and an end. And your end must be strong. But your start must be very good. Your start must captivate your audience. So in pitching, what is important in pitching is a hook. A hook is how you get people to log into where I said. Look at what a hook is in pitching. One look at hooking in pitching. How you hook someone in pitching. Hook is what are you to grab the idea. So like the dancing and put on different clothes and come out with some props or something, that is to get you into what they are doing. The part of the characterization, or should I say the dramatization of what they are doing. It's like in music, that opening bar in music that the person came out with first. And when the audience has make up your noise, and sometimes become overwhelmed and they start over the song again, because that's the hook. The hook is how you get people ready, captivated, and really want to hear how the song ends or how the dance ends. You see, in animation it's about the hook, in games about the hook. What makes your game what I want right away? Your hook must take place in the first 60 seconds or less.
Incredible example. What the hook is incredible.
The new baby they put inside of it. The new baby in Incredibles was all about it. Yeah, but the series continued based on the new power of the new baby. It was no longer about the brother and sister and the mother, it's about the baby. Look at the one with Hotel Transylvania 3. It wasn't about the family moving enough, but about the baby getting the power. But they had to set up the stage that the baby is now born, and the baby is now trying to figure out if he wants a human world or that, and the parents are trying to figure out which one is best to grow the baby in, and then how the worlds are coming together. That was all the book. Remember, every story keeps on developing. Lord of the Rings, same thing. Frozen will have a part 2, or had a part 2. Or part 3 eventually. Most Marvel Adventure animation have a part 2. And so the part 2 is not even as good as the part 1 because the story wasn't a strong one in the part 1. Like Spider-Man. If you Spider-Man one more time again, what the story will be like again this time around? You have seen every single scenario of Spider-Man already. Spider-Man and Ganja.
I agree.
It was a hype thing, but not just. And then because the lead star in it died, which was what it was all about. The lead star. It was about code cars, become about relationship and people and controversy and drugs and got cocaine and. But sometimes it's like Sir said today that Sir today on a silly game about the goat one. The goat simulator. And what Sir gave you was a statistics. He tell you some basic statistics. What the cost of downloading the game is, how many persons have downloaded, how much money they make. That is a hook. To show you, you can create some very silly, basic, rudimentary game and it still sells. The idea is that the hook is what gravitates people. You see, it's like products. Look at children how they get hooked to a particular juice. Swizzle.
When they come out and the other play in the brother, they just something. Yo, Max.
Look at Chubby. Same thing. The song. So everything is about having the right kind of hook. We look at our oral communication about tone, your pitch, your pitch level. You can't be shouting at people. We're talking about something like mammogram, breast cancer. You have to be more in your voice, be more caring. Teenage mothers who are now developing so and so. The voice will change. Talking about crime and violence of different kind of pitch. You have to look at how you talk to people. Your pitch, your tonal quality says a lot. Remember saying no, it's not what you say, it's how you say it make a big difference. If you go to a place and somebody has something and the person that used to be answer a certain way, want the food. But ask you a refund. Because sometimes you go and say them do you a favor. And I'm not just shooting for say, yeah, we're trying to shoot back my head sometimes. Because your tone. Likewise, your tone have to captivate your audience. Now, body language is very important. Some of you were pacing back and forth. Some of you were scratching yourself, pulling on your clothes, fixing up your clothes. Your body language says a lot about your confidence level. Watch your body language when you present. Because sometimes doing the wrong thing detracts from what you're doing. If you go to know sometime, or you play the nose sometime, or you have to hear sometimes, or you play with your bangle in your hand or something, and your body language saying to people, I am not serious about what I'm saying to you. Your body language is a very important thing. And remember, sometimes it is not what you are saying, but it's how your body language presents. So you stand up, you cross the legs sometimes, so that you're nervous. Rocking your fingers like this so that you're nervous. Play with your hand bracelet or your watch or something, or using crouch word like so and so, and those things affect your body language, but you're not prepared for the presentation. We look at visual aids when you're speaking. So like when you pitch for your SBA, what is the PowerPoint in the background or the Prezi? Do you have an image of the game playing or the animation in the background while you're speaking? I'm going to point I'm going to jump over yours and then go over yours and then do that. Are you going to refer to the visual aids when you're speaking in your presentation? Very important. You have to look at the emphasis placed on multimedia. So that the sound in the background while you're playing you know, the game, the sound in the game, the background, the music, you know, the birds chirping, and the whole idea of being a forest or ecotoural areas or some kind of jungle or some kind of bush in a. What is the feeling? What are the birds, kind of birds you are using? It won't be an owl in the middle of the day. So if you look at the whole idea of the visual aids and the emphasis you place on multimedia content, when you're presenting, you can't be presenting and walking before the projection screen. You have to make sure your projection is one side, and you stand either one area, and you point to it using a laser pen or something to show people in the game what you're talking about. And when you come to this door right here, and the game will climax by the person jumping over this ledge, and then the bombs will go up, and so on, so on, so on, so. And we try. But one thing you don't always do sometimes is standing behind the podium for the whole time and just talking, talking, talking. You have to kind of find ways to interact with your audience. Importantly is the equipment and the room check. Recording inside here might put a challenge. The lighting, natural lighting from this side can affect you. If you put on this lighting, you might get your cards to the screen. So where do you record from? If you record from there, so the scenery over here, so might have to present on. Check your background. The board has been cleaned properly and there's something there. You can't be dust that in your way. You have to find, or if you're going to draw something and you want to erase after you draw it, then if you need to do it, then fine. You put things in place where you can find it. If you're using a clicker, you must know where your clicker is. It must have been obvious to you that the clicker is here. You're clicking like this. It can be in your pocket and as you go along, you're just pressing the button and you're seeing the screen change. It must have been obvious to me who's changing the slide. So be very careful about your equipment. What are the tools that you're using? Is the projection bright enough to give a good visual output on the screen? Is the body mic you're using picking up too much roughly inside of? Is there any interference with the sound? Whatever is happening in the environment. If you're recording, the door can be open every minute. You're supposed to walk inside here to the other side of the door, recording in progress, do not enter. What is even about your room, your equipment check-in? If you're going to be using a background, a backdrop, then do you put things in place, make sure it looks decent. Because the whole idea is you're trying to sell someone an idea, you're trying to pitch. So your equipment that you're using and the room that you're going to be, you have to check the room that everything is okay. We know what's called a room check. Is the lighting good? Is the sound in the room good? If you're going to speak from right here, then with the lighting, with the camera person who's recording you, the sunlight in the background here, can you see your face clearly? Where do you record from? All of that make a big difference. And then we need to hear your tonal quality. Sometimes in the pitch we can't hear. Therefore, you have to make sure that the recording device that is recording you must be nearer to you so you can hear the word that is coming out. You got to edit it afterwards to make sure it's properly edited, cut out the little mistake and redo, retake, and get it perfect, put an opening cover. The whole idea is that you need to make a video that will help us to present when you're speaking to an audience. Editing, the grammar. You can't have grammar in your audiovisual tools and spelling errors in your tool. You can't have the speaker with this feedback inside of it while you're recording. You have to look at the editing, because if you capture the wrong sound quality, you can't edit it out so easily. And if you're shouting too much in a microphone, that's another problem again. You have to try and find the right quality of what you're doing. Now you have been exposed to the concepts of and the skills, the principles of animation already, 12 principles. You can draw them. We look at the importance of programming language in scripting in games. For example, C#, Java, Python. You look at programming that you use in game development. You look at game development tools. Tools are software that can create games for you, like Unreal Engine, Unity, any of those. Are there any more tools you're aware of that can create games? Yes, Game what? Game Maker Studio. CryEngine. Unreal Engine. So you have many software that can create game development. You have Construct 2, Things that can be used in drawing, imagery for game and animation. You can make a note of those two and look them up. And then we have many examples of open source software used in animation and gaming. Open source where they are free. Use them online. So like Blender, open source. One other open source software with animation. You have Stencil. Software can use software called Pencil Ink or something like that. Use animation. Animation, free, open source. Maya is open source, but Maya is free for the lower version. It's an open source really. You have to pay to use Maya. So Maya come under proprietary software. Proprietary software means when it's a proprietary, someone own that program. When it's a proprietary software, somebody own the program. But open, when software is open source software, it means that the programming code is available to you to change. Whereas the open source, the programming code is open. You can go into the software and change the programming code and reprogram it and do what you want to do. But then when you finish, you have to make your code become public for everybody to use, to improve. Whose eye is that? A Pokeball? I put a ganja ball instead. We're supposed to weed in a mind. Weed is life. Weed. Where have you been smoking? I would not advise students to use weed to create any stimulant in their educational opportunities. And I would take this opportunity to apologize for any misleading comments that I may make at this time. Viewers' discretion is advised. As a personal point of view, I must emulate correct moral behavior. So the whole idea is that we have many open source software. What about software gaming? Open source software in gaming. Unity is open, not open source. Because somebody only just buy a license for Unity. You get the full version of Unity. You get the low end version. Sound editing, not my greatest thing to do, but I'm quite certain you can find software online. Audacity. We can actually use sounding. And what about layering? In sounding, is to have music being placed over each other. Good. Then you can export files in sound. But there are two ways you can export a sound file for a game. MP3 and WAV. And you can look at voice recording, where you record the audio to use in the production. Like the record sound, like motor vehicle, you can import sound off the internet from other tracks and put them into your work. You can look at capturing sound effects. You want to get like a can crushing, then the crushing can record at the same time. So you must can demonstrate in your game. When you get to Unit 2, you get to look at sound editing in Unit 2 more. But I mean, most persons should be able to demonstrate sound editing skills in your presentation. Like your pitch, your background, how you take out the noise in the background, the door swinging, or whatever noise in the background, how do you fix that? Now, ethical issues associated with animation and game designing. As the word ethical means is that there is that gray area, like little, is it right or is it wrong to do it? That's a problem.
Like that is unethical.
Why is it why?
Because
it promotes killing. So if you look at Grand Theft, the aim, the purpose of the game is about killing people. It's about doing a crime or crimes. You're stealing in Grand Theft. Grand Theft. You're actually stealing. You're shooting people, you're stamping them down, you're murdering them, using the car to run them over. So therefore that is come under ethical behavior. should game developers develop games that causes people to do wrong things? Game that promotes prostitution or game that promotes child exploitation, ethically, it's not right. Game that promotes smoking amongst young people, ethically, something wrong with that. If we try to cut back on cancer and then we can't use games to promote something that is going to cost human life. Game that promotes overeating or overconsumption, can lead to diabetes and lead to sugar, that can be ethically wrong. That is why schools are now saying vendors must not be selling sugar drinks outside of the gate. And they go out there and help people and remove them and charge them under the act. They charge them under the law. Because what their actions are also part of the problem. Canteens in schools are now changing their menu, changing days, instituting water days in school because we look at ethically, what are we doing to promote ethical, the correct behavior?
First, let's promote with something.
That's true. But then moral obligation, moral rests on what you have to do. Moral focuses more on norms or focus on one person's values, opinion. Morally, you could not do a game and promote Rastafarian. If you do a game and the game is promoting saying that people who are Rastas are thieves, are gunmen, murderers, then morally that will have a problem with the community of people who are Rastafarians or Christians who are in go-go club in the game. They leave the church and go to the go-go club and have a church and a church club. Then that is going to become some immoral value. Or a game that promotes child pornography or have pornography inside of it. Or the children smoking, the baby smoking inside of it. People when they create that game called Rather Rabbit, when they create the animation, Who Framed Rather Rabbit, the baby was in there smoking. You can't have a game or an animation where babies are smoking inside of it. Morally, that is wrong.
Would you create an animation like that?
But people might look at it, it's what sells. It's what sells.
Exactly, because morally it's wrong for people who still that's what people if the animation is good, people still like.
Or look at how design a game where the girls are dressed in school clothing. And pedophiles are watching these games. They're giving them ideas to go and take away small girls and get them into sexual range. Morally, it's wrong. Then there is the whole idea of social issues. Social issues in game development and animation. Remember, animation, when you do animation, you can't create problems with animation. When we say that, look at, for example, overeating. A game that promotes eating too much things in the game. And the child will just eat and still play the game every time and follow the actions in the game, then that is a problem. Because you're going to lead to social issues of people who are just consuming and becoming obese, which is a problem. Game that promotes late arrival. It's okay to reach the workplace late. You're doing some game simulation or games that promote violence, like Grand Theft Auto. It promotes some social issues. Or a game that promotes raping, driving past school, get the girl, pull her in the car, rape her and throw her back out, and that social issues. Because sometimes you're actually creating an idea in people who are watching them who are pedophiles. Thank you, Jesus, you were the church, you hear the Sunday school lesson in your head. Yeah. So, the whole idea about gaming now is right or wrong. People are downloading software because they are too costly. They download the crap version online. So you can't bother to get the real version. You don't want to pay people to develop. You don't want to pay for Adobe. It's too expensive. The reality now, the software is expensive. But you can find free software on the internet. But they are not as good as the proprietary software. And Simply also. What? GIMP. Yeah, GIMP is free. GIMP is free. Enjoy Illustrator and better than Photoshop. But because of the industry people there, anything free is not good. People believe that free software are not as good as paid software. But it's true. Anything that is free is not good.
That is not true.
It's not true. Because people who think like that are going to create software that they can share with people who are practicing. Look at people who are very new to animation or game design. They can't pay the thousands and thousands of US dollars to pay for these software. So what they do is to use what? Open source or free software online. People are copying game disc. Remember one time, do you remember that games normally come on CD?
Yeah.
And people try to copy the DVD or the CD for the game? The PlayStation, this, them. They were hard to copy, but people will find a way. No, across the world. And then you could find on the internet how to download the crap version of the game or the cheats and stuff. Huh? And then you send it back to people on the roadside. Or to your friend then, Jordan. So you don't have black sites and then when the virus come up with a computer, which can cause damage to your computer. And the hackers want you to play with your parents' computer to get the parents' configuration for the browser that you're playing through instead of upon them again. Whereas if you had gone to the real website and pay and download the game, then you have less virus on the computer, or less people who are trying to seek and search your computer. Because sometimes when you go to some websites and you download games to play, sometimes the virus comes down. Sometimes people who are hacking computers can get your credit card information and steal money from you because of your own action. Do companies allow their employees to download games to their computers and install? No. Like at university, in high schools, they make in schools, in companies, they make the system that you can't download and install programs on the computer. Because if you do scamming from microcomputers and they find out, then the school is also responsible for your crime. Likewise, if you're in the company, the business, you work in a company like a bank, and you download and you're playing games, or you're on Facebook, or you're on IG, on your business computer, that's a problem. Because when you take the computer home, like the company laptop, the company phone, and you go home, and you're not on the company's network, You go home and you are playing the games, you are downloading programs and games and stuff on the company's phone that has spyware on it. And then you take the phone and go back inside the company and then you connect to their network. Then you have to bring the hackers in that network already. You're within the firewall, which is corporate espionage. That's why parents don't make you do anything on your work phone, on your work laptop, because it has implication. Block it from doing. So the whole idea is that sometimes you can strip content off DVDs. Do you see DVDs out there for Frozen and those stuff as much anymore? No. Everybody knows what digital downloads, pay to download. Netflix. Because people download them and put them on CD and sell them out on the roadside. But the animation industry is not making any money because people are stealing animation. They are copying it off YouTube. Look at, for example, Monsters Inc. Look at Auto Transylvania 3. Look at all them. Within a couple of days online. They get good quality, you can go and download and put them on CD and sell them or share the file back to people like Google Drive or something. Piracy is becoming a big issue. You can, because part of it is human behavior or moral action. What if you are the animator and never download the animation? Remember, you will stop doing to other people's work. Remember, I know the golden rule: do unto others as you have them do unto you. Idiot. Because of the location, don't do your computer. You can't download, you can't watch the video because it's local, it's based on a particular locality to watch it or play it from there. That's true. The whole idea of Creative Commons, open source, you can have a software now that you have access to the program code, that you can modify them. It's called open source. And open source is becoming a big business right now. People are using open source software to create additional game and stuff. But then when you try to go and put it online, you are blocked from doing that. You have to now sign up for a contract because you're using people in free software and you'll get money out of it and more for them cut of the cake now. So like Unity, if you try to do the game, send it out there in Google Play Store and record that signature files, they might block it. Because you're using free software to create economic gains and it's not for personal lab use. So they go on Unity and ask you, are your students or whatever. And they actually sometimes cross-check your school name on the school. Sometimes people will check that your name is attached to the school that you stay. They check with the registry, they check the registry. They check with CXC, are you a student doing CXC, CAPE, AGD? They check, are you a student? Because sometimes people use free software to develop new games, new animation, and then people who are your customers have to pay to see it, to play it, and use it. That's a problem because it's unethical. And sometimes the watermark come up in the work because they are blocking you from doing it professionally. Sometimes the software will allow you for a short time to make some money as a new business person, entrepreneur. But after a time, you start making money, they start to charge you little. You take a credit card. Because what you got to do is, then what they can do is check the number of downloads, that you have on the site. They can check how many people are downloading the game, how many persons are playing the game, because many games today they are played using the internet. That's the problem. It's like when you have a counterfeit, when you have a counterfeit, a fake software, like my Windows, once you connect to the internet and detects it, tells on the screen, the software is counterfeit, get a legal copy now. Sometimes people have counterfeit software. Software. Not nice. Counterfeit software. It's called.
Especially like some of the online multiplayer games, there's a download system where the system running scanning your computer to make sure you're using a software that's well known for running the game.
So you can play the game. Yes, and sometimes the game online, the animation online, they ask to download some software, some program to use the game on your device. Now we have open source software, open source data. You know about those stuff. You have open source versus public domain. Open source means the code for the program is available to people to go and change. You have Creative Commons license, or you license things that you create with open source technology. The risk involved in animation and game, explain IP. The whole IP is about your intellectual property, what you create with your mind. So when, for example, Keontae was up here talking about his game, and I said to Keontae said the word copyright. His intent was that this idea must not be taken out of this room and used by somebody else. What if Mr. Robertson decided he wanted a game idea, develop it into a game, and then cancel the game online later on, and say, well, this is my idea. Then legally you could sue him. There's a video recording taking place. You could get evidence of the video recording that he did say copyright. When the president would say that my idea for my game is copyright, I wish to retain the rights of my intellectual property. When you do the documentation in the SBA to put the copyright statement in your work, what if somebody at face you take your game or your animation and turn it into a big multi-media production and you get no money out of it? So when you look at the whole idea of the IP, remember that patent has to do with a design of an equipment. So I will design a new game device, a new interface hardware. So like when you look at developing game and use like Wii technology in the game, the Wii technology is patented. It's patented. The design of the equipment is patented. The design is protected. So whenever you create something that is new, a new game device or something, because it's an engineering design, you have to apply for a patent. Remember, copyright goes with anything that is drawn. So when you create your drawings in class today, and you did your drawings in class today, then where is the copyright symbol on your work with your name and the date, your country of creation? That it was in your original intent for the idea to be copyrighted, that somebody won't use it. What if Robinson takes away your work and develops a storybook called Crabman, the Caribbean Adventures of Crabman? How? What if? You get the idea? If you don't put the copyright on your work, You can't claim it afterwards be copyrightable. From the very beginning, you have to start the copyright on your work. Once you finish drawing and everything, and you can present it to a teacher, anybody or anywhere, you put the copyright logo in the circle, you put your name, country, and the date beside it. It is a weekly poor man's copy. Because what happens if somebody get a copy of your work and then go and develop it into something better, you don't get money out of it. People can learn for you sometimes. Now, the importance of the IP, why is IP so important in AGD? You're protecting people, idea. People work hard on their own work and then someone else copy it and make it different. PUBG? Also.
Not spoiled.
PUBG started on a battle royale game. Games have a success, but games of success was another company decided that they were really not making a battle game, they decided to make a game mode that's based on PUBG.
Yeah, because people are going to copy your work. Look at how many games, look at how many football games we have that looks like FIFA. How many Grand Theft Auto games we have that look like Grand Theft Auto? How many dancing games we have? How many games look like Candy Crush? You realize that? Because people just keep on copying. And that's what says you must create your own. Cameron. But it's the same thing because in your drawing you are using more Asian character looking in your drawing. You are creating authentic Caribbean new idea. You see, what sense will it make if we keep on using somebody's impression to inform our own development? Is it really going to be a unique thing? No. How is it your own? How have you personalized this idea? How is your game, your animation made for Jamaica? Everybody talk about going to Kuwait and going to Korea and whatever, and I say to you, why you could not report this activity in Jamaica, can't in prison that I shoot the sun out of the sky, because I beat them skin too much. Why could I make this Jamaican scenario? What makes it, because what's happening enough? We keep on seeing a reproduction of. Look at how we did Snow and the Seven Dwarfs or Sleeping Beauty and all these old animation, and they keep on remaking it in modern time, but guess what? The same storyline again all over again. So we need to look at that. So the reason about it is that we protect people's invention. So like, what if we create a new earplug, motion, audio, something? Just work with it. Alright, okay, let's work with it. Okay? Don't knock it as a child. If I have the best idea, then do the call next year, so don't knock it. Just in case I get a job with them. Yeah, copyright. What if we about motion in game, just a base game? What if we use sound buds, sound earbuds that react to motion sensing? And that's a new technology they come up with. When the patent it. It's a new idea. Or a new glove that they use to do boxing. Or do combat training in kickboxing or time-out in gaming or something. That is patented because anybody could steal the idea and start make it over and produce it internationally, commercially, and sell it in large numbers and making money out of your same idea. Why did the government protect copy, Jamaican copy? Because why? If anybody just starts as a Jamaican copy, then they might sell some bad copy and the Jamaican copy back in. And if it's a like Mountain Peak brand, the Blue Mountain, you can copy. The Jamaican government, they protect our copy or any goods in the international market. Because if people cannot copy it, and then when they copy it, they make it and add their own label to it. And they change the color, they change the word or something, then if they make a bad publicity of it or a bad, they start to find somebody or something, then they can blame the Jamaican product. You can't do the difference sometimes, which is counterfeit good and the real good sometimes. Look at how many iPhone knockoffs we have. Too much. Look at Samsung knockoff phones we have. Anybody ever knock off Samsung phone? Is that correct? No, man, we had the Samsung man. I have a money behind us. No, you see the blue one knockoff. But you understand about the whole idea. You have seen, you know what good of iPhone. But cost about $4 US. More than 5 is 8 is that good of iPhone. And you see the iPhone 7 and $700 US online. Fake one. Oh, one is made in China. The people get one there. Oh, that can't call it the iPhone network. You cannot, it's an Android phone that make it look like iPhone.
No, I'm calling super copy, sir.
You must know all like the skinny thing that we stop rocking the chair.
Sir, one of the skinny things, and then the other patterns. Apparently, the person that invented it was himself a guy who used to keep up on these ideas and realize that
You must protect your own industrial design. So, IP protects everything. IP protects the idea, the characters, the background design, the sound, the storyboarding, the sketching. IP protects the whole production of game and animation. So the IP protects everything. All the drawings, all the mock-ups then, all the software design, IP protects everything in game and in animation. Now the penalties for infringement, and it's called infringement. When you break an IP, it's called infringement because you have trespassed on somebody's rights. What we must know is look at what? Imprisonment, fines. You can actually seize equipment. You find people, get a lawyer to write to them, tell them the court of law, and you find if Michael is producing illegal granted auto downloads on their school website, or using their school internet, people are doing it illegally then. That's a problem. They can't get you, but they can get Michael. If Michael IP address is being used to download the game there and put it on CD and sell them to people. I mean, it's always the active.
Well, but you can try VPN.
You can try VPN because you can't mask your the MAC address in the device.
Yep.
To connect your GPS location over network same way. The process involved in copyright and patent. You have to apply for it. You must apply for patent. You must apply for copyright. You have to go in to the company. You have to go into the company in Jamaica, and you pay. You fill out the form. You provide the evidence of your work, and you apply for your copyright. You have to apply for it, pay for it. And coming with copyright in Jamaica right now, when you register in Jamaica, you can get worldwide protection in copyright under what is called the Madrid Convention. You get worldwide protection. So you get protected in Jamaica. In every country that recognizes copyright protection, your game is protected now. So you pay for it in your countries. What you get now is global. You get worldwide protection of your game.
I heard that one of the guys is just like human rights and ethics, they didn't sign off on anything. So they can pretty much do whatever they want.
That's true. Now, the authorized use of copyright material. What do you understand by that? Authorized use of copyrighted material. You can get the permission of the person who owns the thing, the sound, the drawing, the background, the design, anything, and they give you written permission to use their work in your production. Sometimes they are called royalty free. There's no copyright. You want a tree? Get it offline. You want a sun? Get it offline. You want broccoli? Get it offline. And then you can put your own label on it and there's something there. Make the sun dance and put the sun in a one dreadlock rasta and keep down smoke. JJ, that's why you're my favorite student. No. You're not a good one. You sure about that? On completing this module, this is kind of easy. Develop solutions to mitigate the risk involved with animation. People must use patent, protect their equipment, their invention, etc. Their copyright protection in law. When you create something, put the copyright logo on it from day one. Put the copyright sign. The copyright sign on your work. So once you're creating something and something new, then feel free to put the copyright sign, or you say all rights reserved. All rights reserved. And you put your name. And you put January 2019, Jamaica. That means you're subscribing to copyright. Sir. Whenever name a slang, Grand Theft Auto is a copyright protected name. No other game can name Grand Theft Auto. Grand Steel Auto. And the Grand spelled differently, Grande. The Bible is a French word instead. Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto. Gianni. So when you look at quality control, when you're making your game, check the quality of what you're doing. Check the sound quality. So when you're designing, you check the quality of what you're designing. Is it good video? Is it good lighting? Is it good sound? Is it good audio? Is it good drawing? Is it good illustration? When you do the design, do you select the lines them and the rig in place? Let's know. How do you render them out and make them become real? Now, last two things we need to look at quickly is what are the stages of game design? The creative process that Sir was using today was brainstorming. How do you come up with new ideas? Yours. You have to come up with ideation. Ideation is your own idea. How did you create your idea? How did your idea develop? He asks you to share your idea. That's ideation. We have to brainstorm. The word brainstorm is to come up with. Now, what are methodologies used in game development? These include the iterative process. Iterative process in game development means in the iterative process, you can start out in the iterative process, you can start out with design, you can start out with concept, then you can do some coding, you can do some rigging, you can do some rendering, you can do. So as you go around, little by little, you do a little bit more of each of these things. And you keep on doing more and more of it each time until you end the production. So that's the design game. You don't make games bam like that. You go through a trial and error, improvement constantly. You keep on doing more designing, more background, more layering, you do some sounding, and keep on adding as you go along. Little by little, you keep on adding more. And that is called the iterative development in game development. We look at the whole idea of rapid prototyping, which means that what? You want to come with a workable game with a short amount of time. We don't want the whole thing to work now, we want the idea now. So it's about rapid. A rapid prototype is that you come with an idea now. Quick time. You're in the lab and ask for an idea now. That is a rapid prototype. But the prototype is a playable game. It can play. So in class, you create that game in like an hour. That is prototyping. It has functionalities now. It can be used now. It has some features where you can see. You have the background, the layout, the people left, the character walking, the sun, everything. It looks like the real thing. That is prototyping. So you have to conceptualize, design, code, test. So I can use the same diagram, the conceptualize, code, test. You keep on doing more and more of it until the game has been finished developing. Play testing. How is play testing used?
So people test the game.
With play testing, you are trying the game as you develop. You keep on trying as you develop. You do the animation, you want to see him walk to bit or do something. You are playing to see how it may look. Like what you do in the game, you do the testing. When you do the beta test with a real environment, you can work in a way. Revision. You keep on improving as you go along. The story keep on getting better and better, but you keep on changing the storyline. You're revising, repeating, doing the same thing over and over. Like Mario, you must jump on to keep doing the same thing over and over. Grab the net as like that butterflies, like SpongeBob underwater. When you do what is called repeat, you're doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. The same action you are carrying out. Repeating. Last thing, explain the importance of RAD in game development. What is RAD? What is RAD? RAD. What is RAD?
Sir, you will not have a
RAD stands for rapid application development. RAD. RAD stands for rapid application development. RAD. In RAD, how fast can you do it? How fast can you design? That's RAD. Remember, when you go to a competition, you can't make the game or animation now. But what we want to see is how fast can you map up the development of that game or the animation. How fast you can do it. Remember, it's not about making the full final game in 1 hour. It's not possible. But how fast can you demonstrate? Can you demonstrate and show me the game or the animal that you're developing? RAD. So with RAD session, we can compare RAD sessions, and there is a lot of reading about this online. You can create RAD session by using what is called the waterfall model. In the waterfall model says this is designed code, no, conceptualize, then design, code, test. This is called the waterfall model. The waterfall model states, I must finish this before I can do this. I must finish this before I can do this. I must finish this before I can do this. That's the whole time we are making things work. You must do things one after the other. You can't go to design if this is the end. You can't start coding if this is the end. You can't start testing if this is the end. That is the waterfall model. Do we work like this anymore?
No.
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 What we work now is like this. This one is called iterative model. Iterative model. We do a little of each of these things as we go along. Or to get to the final product. We are testing from the very beginning. When you do the game, and start the game, you start testing at the same time as it really work. You start at the same time. Because you're into iterative development. You keep on going over, doing the concept design, coding, testing. You keep doing it. And you must be able to know about the benefits of it and the limitation of RAD. Look at the start, the waterfall model, iterative model, which is RAD model in it. And what do you think are the benefits of RAD? Faster. You can improve as you go along. Faster output of the production. And I feel better. Yes, you get faster output of the production. You are able to test as you go along. So you can find errors now than later. But the problem with it is that you sometimes rush the development process too much. And you don't get to work out the concept of the design very well. When you go to present to people and show all the flaws in the game or the animation that you are creating. So what we'll do is that some